India BGV complete component checklist. Basic mandatory checks, which means these checks have to be done. They are compulsory. You cannot avoid or miss them at all. Identity verification, Aadhaar, PAN, passport, voter ID and driving license. Address verification, current permanent physical visit by a field executive and geotagging. Education certification, degree, university validation. Employment verification, company designation, exit reason, salary and tenure. B. Intermediate or standard corporate checks. What are they? Criminal record check, court records and police verification. Reference check from managers and peer feedback. Database check, internal and negative database. Document validation like fake detection, OCR and AI check. Moving on to number C, advanced check depends on senior high-risk roles and sensitive roles as well. Financial CIBIL check, bank statement verification, salary slip or the pay slip verification, ITR verification, UAN PF check, and professional license verification is also important. Number D, online, digital and risk checks, social media screening, digital footprint check, email phone validation, face match, name match against the ID. And E, field and special checks, neighbor verification, landlord verification, and physical offline verification, which is not done online but physically going to the candidate's residence to show whether it's genuine or not. And finally, final decision components include risk score calculation, air risk analysis, discrepancy report, and final recommendation. Now, introduction, India BGV pricing strategy. Background verification pricing in India depends on the type and the category of checks, the level of risk and the depth of verification required by the companies. In a B2B environment, organizations select verification components based on job roles, industry standards, and compliance needs. Basic checks are low cost and fast, while advanced and field-based checks require more time, effort, and resources, increasing the price. A proper pricing strategy helps companies balance the cost and risk effectively. Instead of focusing only on the price, business should focus on accuracy, reliability, and safety, ensuring that the right candidate is verified before making the final hiring decision. Now, let us look at the basic checks and pricing explanations. A. Basic checks are low cost because they are fast and mostly done through online systems. API, Aadhaar and PAN verification are quick identity checks, so prices obviously are very low. Voter ID and driving license checks needs extra validation and verification, so the cost is slightly higher. Email and mobile checks are the cheapest because they are fast and instant. These checks are used in high volume, so the pricing is kept low to make verification affordable for the companies. Now, let us look at this table, which explains very clearly the different components and the price range from minimum to maximum. And it has to be understood that if you want, or if a company rather, gets high volume reference checks, then the price automatically becomes lower. And if the reference checks comes in low numbers, then the price automatically gets higher. So it's always inversely proportional. So, starting with Aadhaar verification, the minimum price is 10 and the range is 10 to 30. It may be a little bit up as well, but the range is 10 to 30. PAN verification, 10 to 25 rupees. Voters ID DL check, 20 to 50 rupees. And email and mobile check is the lowest because it's fast and instant, 5 to 15 rupees only. Coming to standard checks and the pricing explanations, here also the basic formula applies. Standard checks cost more because they need a lot of manual work and time. Digital address verification uses databases and online tools, so it is cheaper. Physical address verification requires absolute off-site, not online, mind you, physical visits by the field executive, travel and proof collection, so the cost is generally higher. Education and employment verification involves contacting the institutions and the universities to check and validation, which takes a lot of time and efforts, and these checks provide deeper insights and deeper accuracy and reliability, so the pricing is way higher as compared to the other two. Now, let us look at the table to see the minimum and the maximum range of the prices involved in these checks. Address verification digital. The minimum price, as you can see, is 50 rupees. That can go up to 150 rupees or a little more as and when the situation demands. Address verification physical, of course, like I mentioned, it is not online, but physical effort, time and proof and pictures are all required. That is why the cost is a little higher, in the range of 300 to 800 depending on the volume of the reference which is received. And education verification, of course, contacting the universities by email and phone requires a lot of time and effort, so the price range is a little higher, 300 to 800. And employment verification is the highest in the range of 400 to 1000 Indian rupees. Now, let's look at the advanced checks, which is so very important because, like I told you before, initial checks are important, but even advanced checks are even more important for the final hiring process to be safer, risk-free, and secure. Advanced checks cost more because they involve, like I said, deeper and in-depth investigation. Criminal record checks requires searching court databases and multiple sources. Police verification includes coordination with authority, which takes a lot of time and effort. Reference checks involves calling and verifying to get the feedback. Database checks scan internal and external records for negative history of the candidate as well. These checks are important for high risk and sensitive roles. Now, let's compare the price range for these verification methods. Criminal record check in the range of 300 to 100 depending on the volume of the cases received. Police verification 500 to 1500 because it involves a lot of calling, emailing, visiting the police authorities and reference checking court databases. Reference check 200 to 500, lower comparatively because it involves time, effort, calling previous organizations and companies for reference. And database check, which is the least, 100 to 300 maximum. Now, moving on to the next component, which is financial checks. Pricing explanation, one more time. These cost a lot more because they involve very sensitive data and detailed analysis. CIBIL check shows credit history and financial behavior, so it has a moderate average cost. Bank statement validation requires manual review to detect fraud or mismatch, increasing effort and the time which is spent. ITR verification involves checking official tax data and tax records. which takes a lot of time and a lot of labor and accuracy. These checks are used for finance and high trust roles, so pricing is definitely higher. Now, Sybil check in the range of 100 to 300. One more time, it depends on the volume of the checks that the company receives. Bank statement validation in the range of 200 to 500 rupees. ITR tax verification in the range of 300 to 800 rupees. Moving on to the next check and comparing the price range, which is digital and online AI checks. Digital checks use technology to verify data quickly and very fast and accurately as well. Face match compares photo with your ID, so it has a moderate cost. Social media check requires manual review and analysis of online behavior and attitude of the employee, so the pricing is a little higher. Name mismatch algorithm is automated and fast, so cost is comparatively lower. These checks improved fraud detection and accuracy, so pricing actually depends on what you do and how you do to get these information based on technology, data, and level of the analysis that is required. So the face match, like I said, in the range of 50 to 150 rupees. Social media check requires some time, some analysis, digging deep, 200 to 500 rupees. And name match algorithm, which is very quick and very simple, just 20 to 50 rupees maximum. Now, moving on to the final report pricing. Final report costs depend on how data is compiled, structured, and analyzed. Report generation includes collecting all the documents, all the data from the candidate, and creating a structured, layered document, so it has moderate pricing on an average level. Risk score is calculated using rules or models, so the cost is lower as compared to the other one. And AI Insight adds smart analysis and recommendations, so practice or the pricing is generally a lot higher when you're comparing the other two. So, report generation, of course, in the range of 100 to 300 rupees. Risk score, like I said, is faster and cheaper than the other two, in the range of 50 to 100 rupees. And AI Insight requires a lot of AI tools and process and effort. That's why the price is in the higher range, which is 100 to 300 rupees. So, let's look at the total estimated cost. The total cost of BGV depends on the level of verification and the risk involved. Basic packages are low priced because they include only essential checks like identity and digital validation. Standard packages cost a little bit more because they include employment, criminal checks, education, credential validation, and require a lot of manual effort and time. Premium packages are the highest because they involve in-depth and deeper verification and validation, such as financial checks, advanced verification, and off-site field analysis and visits. Higher cost means deeper verification and better accuracy. Now, let us look at the total estimated cost average in number so that you get a final idea of the pricing which is involved in different verification process to have a better idea. Now, the total estimated cost per candidate, let me reiterate that it's not based on a group verification, per candidate, is basic in the range of 300 to 700, includes simple identity checks. Standard, a little bit more, 1,500 to 3,000 rupees covers employment, education and criminal history. Premium, 3,000 rupees to 7,000 rupees, because it's very advanced, requires a lot of tools, lot of effort and a lot of digging in-depth analysis. As of now, you got to know about the basic standard information about the background verification process. If you would like to know more and advanced information, then there are 3 ways to learn that advanced information. Number 1, you can either buy the book, which is the self-learning. Number 2, you can either buy the book plus the recorded video course, or there is another option, which is the book, recorded course and live industry expert solutions, case study based approach. Any of these 3 methods, enroll today or click on the link given below.